First, would you try this?
Traditional Russian food Americans wouldn't eat, part 4. This is boiled beef tongue.
Oh.
I know it sounds gross to a lot of people, but it's traditional Russian dish and it's very tender, very good. And if you're not vegan, you just have to try it at least once.
Oh. Russian pilots of the Congo is what we're checking out next.
This plane, it's like a toy. It does not look real. I feel like we're at the Air and Space Museum in a simulator. The Democratic Republic of Congo is one of Africa's largest countries, both in terms of population and geographic area. It sits on one of the world's largest reserves of natural resources, yet remains one of the poorest nations in the world. With a seemingly never-ending cycle of war, kleptocratic leaders, and a mad scramble for resources, the Congo has been left with less functioning infrastructure today than it had 60 years ago. There are almost no roads linking the massive nation together, but people and things still need to get around. And with roads largely out of the question, flying is the best option. Congolese Airline is blacklisted in the West due to their failure to keep up with international safety standards. There are pilots and flight crews from all over the world operating in the Congo, but one group in particular got us interested: the Russian.
The Russian pilots mainly came from military in their country, but soon after the Soviet Union collapsed, several of them got contracts overseas. The ex-Soviet Union wants to get rid of those planes, and they're very cheap. It's just good for the owner. When we meet a Russian plane in the sky, we need to pay attention because they're not talking the same language that we do. We could be at the same level, coming opposite direction. It could be very dangerous. That's what makes the Russian crew a little bit special.
We packed up and took the overnight ferry down to Bukavu, a port city on Lake Kivu that was once the thriving capital of commerce in eastern Congo. We'd arranged to meet up with a crew of Russian pilots stationed there. However, as soon as we pulled into port, we got a phone call with some bad news.
We've heard that the planes are currently grounded, the Antonovs that the Russian pilots usually fly, because they failed the safety test too many times, which is hard to do here because all the planes are blacklisted anyway, but for a plane to be grounded, you know it has to be really bad.
Yeah.
So almost as soon as we'd arrived, we turned around and took the express ferry back to Goma, where we'd heard rumors that an entirely different Russian crew might be living. And then, the night we got back to Goma, fighting broke out again. Over a period of 10 days, a slew of bombs and mortars filled the sky, striking several civilian centers throughout town. The onslaught was the most recent bout of fighting between the Congolese army and a rebel group known as M23, widely believed to be backed by neighboring Rwanda.
Batu balikufa ile maekla iko hapa deja, unaweza pia tuende pale uone na pale sasa. Unaona ndio hivyo, tunakosa kama inatoka Rwanda.
We're in Kindu too, in Goma, and a bomb fell here last night. Everyone's saying it came from Rwanda, but it's really hard to confirm these things because there's rumors running rampant.
And all you see is children. All you see is families. And just to hear that, and they have to go on with living like nothing just happened. Like, it's not like something like that happens here, we'd be distraught. It's just not a normal resume. It is a resume of life. It would be a ghost town outside. Nothing would really be moving around. Like when 2020 hit, it would look like that. How the streets were empty and different things wasn't really going on. I was in Times Square around 2020 and it was a ghost town. When have you ever seen Times Square be a ghost town? Right? So, but they have to continue to move, keep going and move and do things. And you just looking at the faces of the kids and different things like that, it messes with me. It bothers me.
Around town about what's going on. But everyone is gathering to look and see what happened last night.
In the weeks following the bombings throughout town, a new offensive led by Congolese and United Nations armed forces finally defeated M23, with their top leaders and over 1,500 rebel soldiers surrendering in neighboring Uganda. However, even with M23 out of the picture, more than 30 rebel groups still remain in the eastern Congo, eager to take over where M23 left off. With the whole town celebrating a rare victory for peace, we finally got the call. Our pilots were ready to meet us.
It's 6 a.m. We finally found the elusive Soviet pilots, and today we'll be flying with them to Isiro, Beni, and Kisangani.
Okay, what about special porridge for pilots?
Special porridge?
Yes.
What is special porridge?
Yeah.
Ah, it's this.
Special
Oh, thank you.
coffee, special baziva.
Ah, this sounds good.
До призывников противогазе необходимость его выгуливания отпала. Вышли на улицу, приказывают противогаз снять.
Russian. Kyiv, Tambov, Krasnoyarsk.
Ah,
Right.
Goma is
Goma
here.
is I fly 26 hours MiG for Ilya. I stand on the sky.
Oh, today very good day.
That's what I want my pilot to tell me. You know what I mean? That's gonna make me maybe not all the way, but it's a start of me feeling somewhat comfortable. I want to know that you've been in the sky more than you've been on land. That's the type of pilot I want flying me. You know what I mean? He's gonna have way more experience than somebody else just casually telling me, yeah, man, I've been flying for a few years now. I kind of like it, you know? No, I don't want you flying me. No, you've been on land way too long. I need you to be in the sky more than you've been on land.
Do you ever have days off where you don't fly and you stay home?
We fly
Every day fly.
Even when there aren't mortars exploding 500 meters away from the runway, it's incredibly difficult to film at the Goma airport. So we turned off our cameras, drove right up next to the plane, and within 5 minutes we were lined up, ready for takeoff. We just left Goma and we're flying to Isiro. It smells like sulfur because we just passed the volcano. We have maybe about 50 minutes left of the flight until we get there. Looking at the terrain also, you can understand why there's no roads. I mean, it's like thick bush, jungle bush. Oh my god. Oh, it's actually pretty smooth. We just landed at...
She lying. That didn't look smooth at all. She lying. Why you gotta lie? That didn't look smooth to me. I'm sorry.
The first stop for the day in Isiro, Congo. It's very warm, very nice. They're currently unloading some cargo, some cigarettes, I think. After they're done, we'll hop back on and fly to our next destination.
City is this.
How big is the city? It's very small.
I this no go to city.
You've never seen it?
This many problem.
Ah, you've only ever been to the airport.
Only
Another members of our crew. What must be inside the car where everyone goes.
After taking off, Valentine, the flight engineer, served us an in-flight meal of sausage, tomatoes, and plain bread. Then, after a quick 50-minute flight, it was touchdown in Beni, which is basically just a dirt road in the middle of a field. We had a quick refuel, re-upped on a fresh stock of hair conditioner, and then it was off to Kisangani, our last stop of the day before returning home to Goma. arrived in Kisangani, and there's a lot of military aircrafts on the other side of the plane, which is why we're facing this direction. But so we're gonna stop filming now because things are getting a little sketchy. So we're heading to Goma, heading back home. While we waited to take off, the crew introduced us to their good friend, Captain Vitali, a Belarusian pilot flying.
What y'all think they hauling in the back of that plane? Yeah, it's probably better we don't know, right? It's probably better we don't know.
Flying for a different Congolese airline. Captain Vitali had a treasure trove of home videos from his 20 years of flying in the Congo, all of which he was very eager to share with us. Where were you flying?
This is from Goma to Beni.
Okay.
Or to Goma, I don't remember. Just cockpit. This will come. Which one is from Goma?
We could smell it when we went by earlier.
Yeah, normally we try to avoid smell direction.
Beautiful. Amazing, Papa. Congo in Goma.
Besides flying, Captain Vitali was super passionate about the Russian sauna experience, which he insisted was like no other sauna experience in the world. We agreed to go the next day, said our goodbyes, and took off for home. We're experiencing a little turbulence. I think we're in like a storm. We've had smooth sailing all day. And now it's getting a little freaky in here. As we approached rainy Goma, things smoothed out. We landed the plane, shut off the camera, and headed back to the crew house for a home-cooked meal prepared by Alec, the ground engineer and house mom. What? Yeah.
Наоборот, будем действовать быстро и эффективно. Однако американская пресса в обамовском блицкриге сомневается.
First line of offense. Yes, fly. As pilot.
As promised, the next day, Captain
I'd have needed several of those. Several of those after that turbulence they had experienced. They'd have needed to hand me the bottle.
Vitali took us to a Russian crew house on Lake Kivu, rented out by a Congolese airline. The house was by far the nicest we'd seen in Goma, and although the crew didn't want to be filmed, they gave us full access to the sauna in their backyard.
They can go down, they can swim.
Oh, yeah.
But it is too far from the airport.
Yeah. It's very far.
Hey! For your head. So, let us begin. Stop.
Okay. We are now in hot chamber temperature, 110 degrees. Okay, go full.
No, bad idea.
Okay. I might be ready for a break.
Wait. Wait. And to relax, you can drink water, but never drink alcohol if you pass the sound, because it is not good for heart. Maximum you can drink beer, a little bit.
I'm about to get beat by a eucalyptus.
No, too much.
So next trip, 10 minutes with hot area. We put water on the stove, and who lay down, who must give order how he feel. If he feel very hot, who is on top have to help him to get out temperature from hot place. Get out, go douche, and have a rest. Normally you have to eat something. That is all procedure. Welcome to Russian sauna.
Сибирь, 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 тайга.
After waking up with baby smooth skin and still smelling strongly of eucalyptus, we met with Alec, who promised to cook us something special. So Alec is the ground engineer, and so he goes and checks the plane in the morning, and then he comes back and he cooks while they're flying all day. And then they get home and they eat. What else is on the list?
Onion. Citron. Pear.
milk, sardina.
Oh, sardines.
Ici.
Flour.
C'est ça, farine. Oui, papa. Farine de fruits.
Aí é paquet, comme ça. Directement à la maison pour moi, oui? Ça va. Fresh? Fresh. Farce. Russie farce.
With our grocery list all crossed off, we started in on the ravioli with a little heart-to-heart on the side.
And you do on the table? Okay, cool.
Yes, it's good. It's for Russie the same. 2001. Premier venir. It's good working. It's good pay. Difference for Ukraine for big difference. Congo it's not for me. It's not problem. You see computer, you see TV. After it's not problem for me. It's problem for Congo. For me it's not problem. It's not good condition. I'm not working. It's to stop company. I don't know. It's political. It's not working. It's not money.
No, not ready. It's not ready to time to boil. Maybe 10 minutes.
With the ravioli in the pot and the vodka in the freezer, we sat down with the captain for an interview.
Hey, man, it's my kind of workers right there, bro. They keep some fresh bottles of alcohol near them. You know what I mean? I just keep seeing bottle after bottle. They got to get their shots in. I can work with that.
What can I say? Flights, my dreams, but for this country, I'm free. I try to organize with our life here as my home. The situation with country sometimes changes very quickly, but without our job with country, it's not possible to have a normal life. Situation will come, we will continue. It's very good country, very good people. Sometimes very strange, but maybe me strange for him, for these people, I don't know.
For our wife, our daughters, our babies, and not sick, and give for us happy.
That's good. Perfect.
They drinking scotch too, man. Whew. I really a scotch type of guy though. You know what I mean? Maybe as I get a little older, it'll start becoming something. You know what I mean? But
Bengali tradition, return killer. Bengali tradition, Russia.
We came to the Congo looking for a group of drink-slinging, low-flying pilots, but we found hard-working crews operating in some of the worst conditions in the world, coming home to nights just like these. It happens all the time, all over the country, small pockets of people recreating their home in a land that could not be any more different. With an end in sight to a nearly 2-decade war with Rwanda, the Democratic Republic of Congo stands at a crucial juncture in its history. The Russian pilots, however, remain largely isolated from that outcome. Whatever happens, they'll have to be there, doing their job just the same.
Нет, лучше, пожалуй, не надо, и так не в ладах я с судьбой. Известны исходы парадов, а чем же закончится бой? Но вот, наконец-то, дождливый сентябрь, и вот, наконец-то, прохладная осень, и тучи повисли косыми сетями, и кончился месяц под номером 8.
So I also wanted to check out and get an update on the Wall Street Journal reporter that was jailed in Russia. They were doing updates. I kept seeing them come across the screen, so I was like, yeah, I want to hear this.
Today marks 1 year since Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gerskovich was arrested in Russia. He was arrested on charges of spying. The U.S. calls his allegations nothing short of a farce. They are demanding his release. I spoke with Evan's only sister, Danielle, about this current ordeal for her and her family. Joining me now is Evan's sister, Danielle Gerskovich, and thank you for being here, especially on this day. It's been a year. How do you get through the days?
I still go to work. I write Evan letters, and I just know that whatever I'm experiencing, it's tougher for Evan.
Wow, that's a very interesting perspective. There have been these reports, Danielle, that Putin was willing to do a deal. What have you heard about that? And is any of that true, do you think?
Unfortunately, I can't speculate, but I really hope that there is a path forward.
Mm-hmm. When you see him on your television, what do you and your parents look for?
We look for signs that Evan is okay and he's doing well. He has a lot of little mannerisms, and we just notice all of his expressions, his smiles. It's incredible. He's holding on, and he's so strong.
It's interesting you mentioned his smile, because I see kind of a sly smile when he's in court, you know, almost as if he's saying to the world, you know, this is all a joke. It's not true. How do you read that, knowing that, you know, he's your younger brother?
Well, Evan's innocent, so I think that might be part of it. He was an accredited journalist on assignment from the Wall Street Journal. So he's an innocent man behind bars. And I just see my little brother there too. Just he's just always been kind of mischievous and silly. So it's just a very near and dear smile to me.
I can see that in him. And yeah. I hope to see that in person someday very soon. Does it help to talk about him?
It does. I love my brother so much. I miss him so much. So when I get to talk about him, it's actually kind of nice. Sometimes I'm smiling just because, yeah, I miss him so much.
Yeah, it's a good memory.
I feel like they're using him as like a pawn in all of this stuff going on as well. You know what I mean? Just another pawn. As like, he was on assignment. Is there any proof to that he was spying? Like, is there anything? Show me the videos. I'll go check them out. Like, this just feels like something deeper than that.
I'm sure it is, of your younger brother. Listen, in our building here is the Wall Street Journal, and you know what they have done to keep his cause out there publicly. And there's a subway in the basement of our building, and in the very first week that your brother was taken, a poster went up. And there are thousands of New Yorkers who see that to this day, every day. And I wanted to share that with you, because I hope to give you and the rest of your family hope and strength through this process.
Thank you so much. We have no other choice but to keep going, and we're just going to stay positive and believe that we'll get him home.
Danielle, thanks for talking, okay? And I know you want to keep the word out there, and we shall as well. Danielle Gerskovich, 1 year. Let's bring him home. Thank you.
Thank you.